Hey everybody, we're back for another review. This time we're going to sacrifice some people for the blood on the altar.
No, we're not.
Oh, we're not?
No, that's the other one. We're trying not to do that.
Oh.
That's the bad one.
Oh, I thought we were the bad guys.
No.
So yeah, in this one, you arrive at Dunwich, and you definitely don't feel welcome, because the town is weird and spooky and scary.
Yeah, these people are kind of like backwater hicks.
And then you have to explore it while looking for a hidden ritual chamber, and a key to the chamber. And inside is this cute guy, who is...
With 2 experience per player.
Very hard to kill, though.
Yeah, very hard to kill, but you can like ritual him out or something. There's some sort of thing that like you can book him out.
It's like a
but then you don't score the victory points for him.
Yeah, he's got a lot of health, but
Yeah.
like he only has 3 fighting. He doesn't make attacks opportunities. You can just sit there and shoot him and reload your gun and shoot him some more or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like he just takes time to fight. He's not particularly punishing.
Yeah.
Also, you can just like because even though he's massive, he doesn't make attacks opportunities. You can just like go in there, shoot him, and then leave. Just peek down to the basement and like fire off your shotgun every turn.
So then for this one, when you...
So the encounter sets for this one actually has a very, very difficult Mythos deck. You have the unique one for this one. Then you have the Unhallowed Country, which is which were printed in the core set, but this is the first time you actually use them.
And then how it works as well for the mechanics is that there's a bunch of locations, and under each location there is an encounter card. And then when all the clues are gone, after you spend some time searching, you get to reveal the encounter card underneath. And that's either one of the bad encounter cards, or it's the hidden chamber, or the key to the hidden chamber.
Yeah.
So that's the whole point. You're kind of just going around the city looking for them stuff, and then, actually...
Yep. Yeah, so the Unhallowed Country ones, they're just like these cards that are like, hey, Dunwich sucks. People here are jerks. The ground's like corrupted or whatever. Anyway, you also get the Whippoorwill encounter set.
Fucking
which
Whippoorwills.
sucks. And then you get the classic Ancient Evils.
Yeah, because it wouldn't be Arkham Horror without the Ancient Evil.
Yeah, without randomly losing sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
And then you also get the Night Gaunt encounter set. That one's always fun. Where they
That's when they can just move you to a central location?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like it's always fun when you're the clue guy, and like this Night Gaunt just like swoops down and picks you up, and you're like, you're fighting me now, and you're like...
Yeah. And it's always with your feet, and like most yellow guys aren't good with their feet.
You're sitting there like, please help me, shooty man.
Send help. And the shooting man shows up and he shoots you in the head 3 times, and your troubles are over.
That happened like once, man.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, this one also relates to the the big box where the Clover Club gang.
Yeah, they can show up. The Clover
gang.
Club, the O'Banion thugs can show up and make your life a misery.
Actually, I would argue that it's better to not do that because they make the encounter deck easier.
I would agree as well, but for some reason, I'll never forget the guy beating me to death in Bishop's Brook. Yeah.
Like, I think this one's actually notably harder without them, just because you're more likely to try Ancient Evils and like
evil cards,
and stuff, and this like Psychopomp son, this guy bird pooping on his head.
Yeah, this bird's sitting on his head.
He's like, you take some damage, and you're like, yeah, it's okay, I can live through this, and the bird's like, no.
It's gonna really hurt.
You're gonna die.
Mild side note, something that's kind of interesting is the first time they've reprinted a card within a different encounter set. This Rotting Remains.
Oh, really? I thought that was in the...
It is in the core set.
It is, and I thought that was the core set version, but it's not. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Cool, I did not know that. The flavor standpoint, all the locations you go to sound ominous. They look scary, right? Like just House in the Reeds, burned ruins.
They're actually like kind of normal.
But like it feels like it's a creepy place to be.
You show up, you're like, I don't really want to be here.
And then there's the mechanic of this guy.
This is like, I think this expansion is a little bit underrated for our group in particular, especially coming off the back of the train one, the Scary Express. But like the kidnap interaction is so cool.
Yeah.
It's so flavorful.
So how that works is test Brain 4 or Foot 4. If you fail, add an ally asset you control to the pool of potential sacrifices, then attach Kidnap to the current agenda. If you have no ally assets, take 2 damage and discard Kidnap instead. When attaching an agenda advances, choose a potential sacrifice at random and place it underneath the agenda deck. So they're going to,
So
kill the
potential-
people.
Yeah, potential sacrifices are like any allies you play.
Yes.
Then there's like Zebulon Whately and Earl Sawyer who show up in this one. There's Professor Rice and Armitage and other guy.
Francis Morgan.
Yeah, Shooty Man.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't play the Shooty one.
Yeah. And basically that if they die,
It makes later ones harder.
yeah, it makes later ones harder. You get less ways to fight the abominations as they show up in future expansions. And it just sucks to have these guys die, especially, and we've never had an ally get sacrificed.
No.
Right? So, like, no Leo DeLucas, but then
No.
I assume they're gone from your deck.
Yep,
I
you have to
imagine.
rebuy them.
Yeah.
Yep. No, it's a really cool game mechanics, but this one's kind of weird because like it's a really amazing, very flavorful scenario on its own, but it's not really like one of the big fancy ones. Even though I think it's one of the most well designed ones. It's not like with the big finish or anything like that. It's very intermediary with setting up which guys are gonna get sacrificed. You know, at the end you have potential to get this powder of Imagazi to help you fight the Dark Young.
You know, it definitely, like,
They're not Dark Young. Dark
uh,
Young's
Dark
Chevy.
and Chevy. That's
Whatever
just
these guys are.
things.
The mini Dunwich horse.
Yeah. Baby Dunwich. It's not a theme that shouts in your face like, "Oh my God, I'm so cool, look at me," but everything for it makes sense. And it's like, it really is a home run. And like when you go find Salas Bishop for the first time, you're like, "Oh God, what are you?" And then you're like, "Oh, he actually doesn't do much because he's just a prisoner down here."
Yeah.
Right.
Like everything just comes together so nicely for this one. Like the sacrifices, the whole theme of everything being like not overtly hostile towards you, but like it's unnerving, it's uncomfortable, and you feel uncomfortable going around and exploring the town. And like,
And this one also requires you to split up. which
this
makes
one
it-
really feels like you're going around actually exploring the town.
Yeah,
I think it does a better job of that than the Midnight Masks does,
I would agree.
for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, because everything is in Midnight Masks is so connected as well that it's very easy to move around. There's only like a few corner cases that aren't. But in this one, you have to like, oh, I need to go to the church. That's pretty far ways away.
This one also has very high replayability in that, with the exception of Village Commons, there's 2 copies of every location. So you never really know, like, well, you can't metagame it too hard.
Yeah.
There is always, like, a little bit of unnervingness of, like, which location is this going to be?
Yeah,
So,
it feels like this is like the kind of like the peak of the Dunwich Legacy thing to me, where they had like the most. Because like putting 2 for each location really shows that they want this one to be.
this one's very, very well designed.
And because you have, it's also random which location the hidden chamber's under, and then the key to hidden chamber is also under a different one. Yeah.
Yeah, so it doesn't really matter how much you actually know about the encounter.
Yeah. What kind of enemies are in the deck besides the Obanian thugs in the Mythos deck?
Well, there's the Whipwills,
And then there's the Night Gaunts themselves.
and that's it.
Okay, so it's actually
It's
not
just a
even too.
town.
Yeah, it's not even too heavy on that stuff.
Or I guess there's, like, servants and Maymows, but they're, like, just guys.
Yeah, they're not too. Do they have any
They're
special
there to make
abilities?
sure that, like,
And after you defeat them, discover one clue at any location. So yeah, they're there to also push the game.
they're there to
forward.
make it so that way, like, your goons actually have something to do and can contribute to the
Yeah.
game, like, ending.
Seems good with rolling banks. Just
Yep.
shoot them. Here, I'll gain 2 clues, please.
I mean, one of them has to be from your location.
Yeah.
This one came from a location. No, that
Um,
was definitely a design consideration on their part, which is something I'm actually quite impressed by.
So then, if you're able to save everyone, the 2 new people they can potentially be added to your deck, both Zebulon and Earl. We kind of talked about them, but they just kind of also they're like the other pieces of the Francis Morgan and Warren Rice pie to cover up the 2 other stats. And they also do the same thing, which is draw a card if you do the thing that's associated with them.
Yeah, and they have the flip stats for them.
Yeah.
They got the same committee symbols. Like, again, they're all very solid.
Zebulon
Solid
Whately
allies.
seems pretty strong. Just
I think in general for this this cycle, that the charisma builds are very strong, just because the allies you get are really good.
yeah.
Yeah, the charisma builds do seem strong in general, but
Exceptionally strong for this one. I mean, like, I think that the
Yeah, 'cause-
Red Glove Man one in particular is like a very real deck,
Mm-hmm.
and like once you get the experience for it, is like really really strong.
Yeah.
But
All right, what do we think of this one for theme?
I actually might be willing to give this one like a 5.
Let me just see if we'll do the train check, the steam monster check. Is there anything that just doesn't feel like? I mean, like I also like I like the flavor of the O'Banion thugs or Oban or whatever they are chasing you down to Dunwich, and
Like you're just exploring a town. There's no real monsters aside from the whippoorwills who are saying they're making you worse at things because you can hear their calls. The legend about how they only sing when someone's dying.
Yeah.
And like you feel a little bit pressed for time.
Yeah.
Like there's night gaunts haunting you, but like they hardly ever show up.
Yeah.
Right. You are for the most part just exploring a town, looking for this hidden chamber and a way to get in.
I do think
And
this.
you gotta do it so guys don't die.
Like this one's very high. Like I would be hard pressed to go below a 4.5 for this one. So let's see what Bryn thinks. What does Bryn say?
I don't actually remember playing this one. So
Like, oh, these are some pretty cool cards.
yeah, like no, I remember these guys because I remember having him and he was pretty awesome because he was like the Elder Sign amulet and he could just soak a ton of damage.
Yeah,
Apart from the whole exploring the town thing and like nothing being really threatening except for maybe the thugs, I think that like the kidnap cards really knock.
Oh
this
yeah,
one
the
out of the
kidnap
park.
cards are great.
Really knock this one out of the park, especially how like the guys get removed from your deck. Like Leo Luca is being kidnapped, he's gone.
Yeah, I thought this one was a part of the next one where you have to fight like the child of Yog-Sothoth or whatever.
That's because I think we played them on the same day.
I think we did.
Yeah.
Or the first time.
You know what? I can't find anything wrong with it, and Travis's passion for it makes me want to give this
This
a
one's
5.
really good.
It is very good. I do like this one a lot. It's probably my favorite from the cycle.
This one also is like a very, very good one to play self-contained.
Yeah.
You can show up like if you're playing this one not as part of the cycle. It's a very good standalone expansion because there's guys being kidnapped. You gotta save them.
Mm-hmm.
There's like a defined start. You show up in this town, and there's a defined end, and like you can measure how well
And
you do by how many guys died.
As I was saying, I feel like because like
got kidnapped.
the next two, Undimensioned and Unseen, and Where Doom Awaits, kind of are just placeholders for me. Getting to the final one where you actually go to Lost in Time and Space.
They're not great, but we'll talk about that.
Yeah, so to me this one feels like the climax of it. So once again, it feels like you're coming here to find Silas Bishop. So unless,
I mean, this is the climax of the stuff in the normal world, anyway.
all right, I'll do it. I agree with you. Your passion's got me, and this can be the point of the 5 that we will compare to. Is it better than Blood on the Altar? No, it's not. 4.5.
I mean, like that's a high bar, I think.
It is. I think so too. How is this one fun? I think this one's very fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think this one's a solid 4, 4.5, somewhere in there.
I mean, I don't even know what I actually don't find fun about it, because
I mean, like there's
the Night Gaunts can be annoying.
There's a little bit of variance in
where things show up.
Yeah, and also how many ancient evils you draw.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, but if we're gonna punish every encounter for having ancient evil in it,
Yes.
then that's like every encounter.
No, it isn't. It's just a law.
Except for like the easy ones.
So yeah, I feel like this one is very fun as well. I would be willing to go even to like a 4.5. I'd even say a 5 for this one is very fun, but 4.5.
I'm not sure I want to give this one a 5 because like there's nothing. I mean, as much as I really like the theme and the game mechanics, there's nothing that makes me like play it and be like, man, I'm having a blast, right? I mean, there's definitely nothing wrong with it, but there's nothing. Everything's just like fun, but there's nothing like really knocking it out of the park for this one in terms of funness. I guess you can make a point against it for like the kidnap taking your ally. You spent a bunch of money.
I think that's fun. That's cool.
Your kidnap guy takes the red glove man. You're like, how?
It's like that. A lot of things have to really align.
That guy doesn't really exist.
Not even really sure he's here.
Yeah, I think I'll go for a 4 just for that reason, because you can also kind of get like really screwed by having the last one you go to be the one that has the thing you need, and that's not that fun.
That sounds fair to me. I enjoyed the one I thought this was. So.
All right, how's the difficulty rating? I think this one is when we start getting a bit more difficult.
I think this one's like a 3.5.
Yeah, I could agree. This also is this the one you said where they add more chits to the pool, or was that the last?
That was the last one.
Okay.
I mean, like the Mythos deck for this point is exceptional. I think this one's a 4 if you don't have the O'Banion game, but it's like a 3.5 if you do.
Yeah. So, and I mean, also there's also the chance that you could just get really lucky and get the hidden chamber and the key and like the first 3 things, which is what happened. But at the same time, if that happens, you flip everything face up as well, so you can't just get away.
There's also a chance that you just don't get it to the last one. You're like, oh shit.
I think 3.5 because we've never lost this one, where
We've never done like even poorly. I think we had like one person kidnapped both times.
yeah, like we
Oh,
like
so
this
yeah,
guy
you
dies
never-
very
we don't like
constantly
you.
for us. Yeah, I mean, look at his haircut.
Yeah.
He may be smarter than he lets on, but no, he's
But he's also deader than he
Yeah,
looks.
that's on,
So.
yeah. Overall, what do we think of this one?
I think this one's a 5, but that's just me.
I'd go 4.5, just because.
It is hard to say that there's like nothing wrong with this one, but I enjoy playing this one every time I play. I guess there isn't like one particular thing that jumps out at me as being like amazing.
Like in my mind, the one that I find to be the best is Carnival. That is my favorite one, and I think this one is just one little inch below Carnival.
I mean, I think realistically, I don't think we're ever gonna something a 5 overall, unless like it has to be amazing. Because for us to give it a 5 overall, like we're all gonna have our pet scenarios. Where like you like Carnival, I like this one. I don't know what the hell Bryn likes. He apparently only remembers half of them.
No, I thought this one was the last one before Lost in Time and Space.
Oh man, you missed 2.
Maybe.
And he was fine. I don't even remember that one. So Bryn and I we're both on the opposite sides.
I mean, I'm comfortable giving this one like a 4 or 4.5 if you want.
I feel like this is also the best one from the Dunwich Legacy. So I'd be willing to give it a 5.
I think the last one might be better than this one.
I think the last one's
Overall-
good, but the last one can also just be an annoying nightmare
I think
that isn't fun.
That's the
Overall,
point
the
of it.
last one.
Yeah, but can I
Like,
give it
it's
a good...
supposed to be an awful nightmare where you're
yeah.
trapped in this other realm and you're trying to find a way out.
I think the last one overall gets 5. Like, there's definitely, it's not going to score quite as high on most of these. It'll score higher on difficulty for sure. But like for fun and theme, it might not score as high as this one. But I think overall, the last one is shit. I'll talk about it when we get to it. But I think that one might.
Like the
score
last
5.
one, it's good, but like to me, overall also includes if I want to play it or if I enjoyed playing it, and that last one when a room just disappears and you're like, our plan is gone. That's just like, oh, that's just.
That's fine. We can talk about that when we get to that one. Like half an hour, Justin. You don't have to wait that long.
Yeah.
I think this one's a 4 or 4.5.
Alright, we'll do 4.5.
Taking into consideration your guys' your vote and Bryn's lack of.
Well, like, I mean, okay, so there's... Yeah, sure. Yeah, no.
I mean, this
it's
one
good.
looks good. Like, this one is a great one.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, us nitpicking about this overall rating doesn't detract from how good this one is.
And the fact that you have to like actively look for things that are bad about it says a lot.
Yeah, I would
So.
agree with that. So yeah, that's Blood on the Altar, and the next one, the one that always takes us 2 hours to play.
Yeah.
So,
Oh.
Undimensioned and Unseen. This one, I
That one's a
mean,
beast.
we'll get to that one. So thanks for watching. Yeah, hopefully you maybe one day will save Earl Sawyer, because we
Maybe
certainly
you
won't.
value feet at some point.
Maybe, yeah. All right.